Hi everyone, this is Karen Porter. I'm recording, this message for you today just to give you a little overview of integrated online marketing myself, even though I know you've been introduced to the course in my absence by Jackie Moore, who was very gracious and agreed to cover off my class today while I'm getting a bit of surgery. So sorry I'm not there in person. If I would have been able to control the timeline a bit more, I certainly would have, but unfortunately today was the day the surgeon could get me in, and so here I am, not with you. In any case, I'm recording this overview just to give you a bit more detail than what I'm sure Jackie covered off. Again, thank her for coming in and making sure that you all got your syllabus, answered any questions, took care of drop add things, and probably covered a few basics that I had shared with her. But I wanted to spend just a little bit of time going through the course in a bit more detail, as I know some of you may be questioning whether this is the right course for you or not. And that's a really good question, because it's very unlike many courses in the business school in that this one does not use a text. It is extremely hands-on, and it's very much a do course, not a learn about, theorize course. So in any case, let me just kind of move right to the basics, and I'll cover off a little bit about myself, as well as why this course and some of the things that you need to know if you're considering moving on to this course and sticking with it. I think there's some information you'll find very helpful in making your decision. My name is Karen Porter, as I've already stated, or at least I think I did. My office is in the Gallagher Business Building in 348, which is called the Bullpen, up on the 3rd floor. I'm not kidding, it really is. They refer to the printer as the Bullpen printer, etc., etc. In any case, it's got about 8 cubbies, I believe, in there, and so I'm in cubby number 7, and you are able to find me there during my office hours, and usually a bit before, sometimes after class. My office hours are going to be 9:45 to 11 on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and by appointment around other times, just knowing that some of you are going to have classes during that slot that I've designated as official office hours. So if you need me and you do have a class, there's a conflict there, please let me know, and I'll be more than happy to arrange an alternative meeting time when the need arises. My cell is 406-529-8931, and you are more than welcome to give me a call on my cell, as I'm very rarely in the business building. I just ask that you please call me before 9 p.m. in the evening, and I also prefer that you call rather than text if possible, although you certainly can text if you like, just to see if it's okay to call, if that's something you'd like to do beforehand. I know some students are uncomfortable giving me a call directly, but I'm really okay with that, and if I'm not able to pick up, I'll certainly retrieve messages and get back to you. I can also be reached by email. I've left my official address there in front of you, karen.porter@business.umt.edu. However, I will tell you that I believe there might be a gremlin living in my computer, or my email address, I should say, as I sometimes have just odd things happen. I don't get some emails. Sometimes I'm not able to post attachments there. I don't know what's going on with it. But in any case, just to be a safe check, I would really prefer, if you're going to write me, please do use my official email address, as I will respond to you there if at all possible. But if you would also copy me when you're writing me by using my personal email address as well, that one feeds directly into my phone. I will know you've written me, and then I will go log into the business email and get back to you that way, just because that's how the school definitely prefers that we communicate, is through your official address and mine. But if you would do me the courtesy of just copying me so I don't miss your email in case it doesn't come through, I would really appreciate it. The last thing I want is for someone to be thinking I'm ignoring them when I just haven't received the email, so that'll be a safeguard for us. Secondarily, I have I put web page here. It should actually say website. I put up, the first year I taught this class, I think this is the 4th time I've taught it, a website dedicated to this course, and it's called osmm.net. You will find various tabs on the navigation bar. There's one for syllabus, there's one for slide decks and notes from classes, there's another one for resources, and there are several other ones that we'll be filling out and populating as the course course goes on. But for now, if you go to that website and go to the syllabus tab, you will find a copy of the syllabus you should have already received from Jackie. And that way you will have an ability to download your own copy if for any reason you need another one. And in the event I change the syllabus as the quarter moves, or excuse me, the semester moves on, you will have an opportunity to download the most recent version, so you're always up to date with what the latest syllabus is if there are changes. Moving on to the next slide, if I can get it to move. Yes, why this course? You know, I really felt that this course was very, very important because when gosh, I don't know what I put as the first bullet. You're going to have to forgive me here. I think I cut and pasted something and didn't make the complete update. But anyway, rather than starting over here, I'm just going to go ahead and continue. Due to trends in marketing just being ongoing, there really needs to be a course that keeps up with the ongoing trends in digital marketing. And one of the things that I found when I came back to teach at the school, which I believe was in 2012, which is where my cut and paste here came from, forgive me please, was that I found that there were no courses at that time focusing on digital marketing specifically. It was touched upon in various other classes, which is wonderful, but I really felt that there was a need for a course that really talked about digital marketing from a more broad perspective, everything from websites and bloggings to social media to search engine optimization to the various things, and kind of pulling it all together so that students had an understanding as to how websites and blogs integrate and work with all of the other types of online marketing and how it can be pulled together for an overall online marketing strategy. So for that reason, I proposed a course in 2011, and it was offered in 2012 for the first time on an experimental basis. It's been very, very successful, and past students have let me know that they found it extremely helpful as they've gone out and found jobs in marketing. And just as I already knew, a lot of them are finding that when they get their first jobs, that there's an expectation that they are already knowing or have background and information in the online marketing world, which prior to this course really wasn't available to them in the School of Business Administration. So I'm very pleased to be teaching this course. It's a lot of work for me to put it together because it requires me basically building the course without a text, doing a lot of work updating every time I teach it. And for you, it's going to be a lot of work in just keeping up with various things, coming to class regularly, and doing a lot of online marketing yourself. So it's going to be, again, a very hands-on doing course rather than reading, learning, and taking multiple choice tests. Just exactly the opposite of that. I want to warn you today, though, that you are not going to learn everything you need to know in this course. It's definitely more than just a broad brush overview. However, it is something that is always changing, and so consequently, you're very likely to find that as soon as you're done with the class, within a matter of a month or two, some of what you learned may already be changing. Facebook's going to change their interface. Google's going to update their algorithms. There's just always a lot of things changing in the online world, so you just need to know coming in that this is not a learn it and you know, it's not going to change. 4 P's of marketing tend to stay pretty consistent. Online marketing does not. So you just need to know that that's the nature of it. And my goal is to simply make you very aware of the broad areas involved in online marketing and to make you self-sufficient. So if you get out there and you're hired and somebody asks you to tackle something that you're either not feeling entirely comfortable with, or maybe it's something slightly new, you're going to feel after coming out of this course as though you have a good roadmap to know where to go, what to do to come up to speed very quickly, and to stay up to speed, just because, as you know, everything is changing. I will also warn you that no one is really a complete expert at everything online marketing. Most people specialize in certain areas. I certainly have my areas of expertise, and I will share those more with you as the course goes on. So you may find that you really focus on one or two or three or four, maybe at most, aspects, and the rest you're going to know a little bit about, but it's just simply impossible with the way things change and as much information is out there to be an expert in all things online marketing. So I just want you to know that I'm not, you won't be, and virtually no one is, but I can certainly provide you with a very good overview of everything. So hopefully you can leave this school when you graduate very well armed to at least make a very good showing and have some broad expertise in this area that you otherwise wouldn't have. So let's move on to the next slide here. Darn, this just doesn't want to click very well for me. The good news is about this course is that there is no textbook. You are, however, going to have required readings, downloads, and handouts that will be used to keep you current with ever-changing online trends. One of the things I'm going to ask you to do right away is to subscribe to a blog. It's a blog that comes out of a great internet marketing source called HubSpot. And if you go to the URL I have here on the screen, blog.hubspot.com, you are going to have the option to sign up for one of 3 blogs, and I would like you to sign up for the marketing blog. You certainly are welcome to sign up for the others if you wish. However, the required reading for this course is going to revolve around the marketing blog, and it is going to be required that you read those marketing blogs every day. This is kind of a substitute for your textbook, if you will. It's not going to be everything you need, but it's certainly a great resource for keeping you up to speed on some of the major areas involving online marketing. I will warn you right up front that when you first get started in this course, you may be reading some blogs that don't even make all that much sense to you. For example, they may be talking about changes in Google's algorithms and something that you don't even really know what they were before. So don't worry about that. I want you to read. You will start seeing pieces come together as the course goes on, but I do want you to read all of the blogs every day. There are usually on a given day somewhere between 2 and 4 blogs that come out. I believe it's just weekdays only. I read so many I honestly can't remember, but I'm quite sure HubSpot is Monday through Friday. You do check Saturday and Sunday though, because if there are some that come out, I would want you to read those, but I'm quite sure it's Monday through Friday. So you are going to have in any given week probably around somewhere 10 to 15 roughly blogs to read, and they're not real lengthy. They're probably going to take you 5 to 10 minutes a piece to read, and if you try to comprehend, I mean not just skim them, because there will be some quizzes on these. I'm going to warn you, there will be an unannounced quizzes on both the blog readings as well as lecture materials and other assigned readings, so you do want to make sure that you're reading those. You're going to find over the long run you're going to have gained a wealth of knowledge. So if there are some that just seem a little bit over your head when you're reading them for the first time, just know that's okay. It'll come together, and I'm certainly not going to quiz you on anything that I know is going to fit that bill. And I'm pretty aware of that just because I've been there myself. So been there, done that, and I'm not going to play games with you on that account. However, even though there's not a textbook, which I'm sure you're going to be relieved, I'm well aware of the price of textbooks and know how much money you're putting out. I do want you to be very well aware up front that there are some required course expenditures, although they're nowhere near the price of a regular textbook. Do set aside some money now for these expenditures in late February. There are going to be required, because you're going to be putting up a WordPress website and blog. You are going to have to do 4 months of web hosting to take you through the course. So those will roughly cost you about $40 without discounts. I can almost always get you a month free, so it's going to roughly be around $30 expenditure there. Most likely, most of you are going to pay by the month, so actually not all of that expenditure is due the end of February. Your first month will be, I think, if I can still get that discount code for you, will be free, but thereafter you're going to be paying roughly $10 a month for your hosting. So please set that money aside. I don't want to see anybody's site go down because they do not have the funds in coming months to renew their web hosting, and that will be something they will automatically charge to a debit or credit card of your choice. So just be prepared to know to set that money aside, as it will be due monthly until we're done with the course. There will also be a requirement for you to buy a domain name, but it's very important you do not buy a domain name now. We're going to do some exercises in class to help you pick a blog topic that makes sense for you, and a website, I should say a website with a blog is what we're going to be doing. After doing that research, you're probably going to have a much better idea as to an effective domain name for you to purchase than you do right now. So please, please, please just bear with me, and we will get to that part. I know some people are anxious and, ooh, I've had this idea for a domain name, and they want to run right out and buy it. Please don't, because there's a good chance you'll be buying something else later, and I don't want you spending money unnecessarily. I put under the domain, I just realized I have a typo here. Domain is not anywhere near $40. Usually you can get your domain even at full price for about $15. I'm using GoDaddy as an example. Usually I can find discount codes and pass them along, so it's not uncommon at all. I can cut that down to at least half of that, or even further. So your domain is going to cost you $15 at most, likely less than that. So all in all, much better deal than paying for a textbook, but I just do want you to be well aware that you are going to have those costs coming up, so there's no surprises. On the next slide here, I just wanted to talk about a few other things that you're going to need to have in order to complete this course successfully. One is, as you might expect, is just having regular access to the internet and a computer and printer. You definitely are going to be doing a lot of work online, including editing your own website, building it out. There will be other assignments that require you to work with various social media and other assignments as well. So you just need to have that and have regular access. You will also likely want to have a screen capture software. I personally really like Jing, although there's a number of them out there, so whatever screen capture software you use is perfect. But you are going to definitely need screen capture software in order to compile for me, give me screenshots of various things you've done for grading purposes. So screen capture software is an absolute necessity. I would recommend that perhaps you get familiar with a web graphics program, software of some type if you're not already familiar. One that I use that is extremely easy to use and very, very, well, it's point and click. I mean, it hardly takes anything to learn how to use it. It's called PicMonkey.com. And it's PIC, there's no K, so PICMONKEY.com is one that works very, very easily, and a lot of my students have come to really enjoy after I've introduced it to them, if you're not already familiar. Or if you already know Photoshop or another graphics program, that is just fine, but just know that you're going to probably want to have a graphics editing program of some type as well. MailChimp is a free edition of an email service. I'll explain to you later on in the course why you need this. Just know that I'll be asking you to use MailChimp. I don't need to tell you a lot about that now. You definitely are going to need a Google account so that you can sign up for a Google AdWords account. It's within a Google AdWords keyword tool that will be doing keyword research, from which you will be doing your SEO or search engine optimization. So this is a real important one. Again, most of these there is absolutely no cost to at all. It's just the hosting and the domain that have cost attached, but I just want to give you this list of other things that you're going to be required to have access to in order to fulfill your course requirements, so that you know that up front. There's also going to be a Facebook business page that you'll be building that will be a compatible online service that'll coincide with your website. So in order to build a business page, you are going to need a personal Facebook account to set up your business, or also called a fan page. Or if for some reason you don't have a Facebook account of your own and don't want to set one up, you'll need to have permission from someone to use their account to set up the business page and to get access to it. So just know that that is something you'll need to work on if you don't have a Facebook account. I would highly recommend that you just set up your own. It makes it a whole lot easier if you don't already have one, and you can delete it just as soon as you're done building your business page. You also are going to need to set up a Facebook ad account. Funding is optional, but we're going to be learning how to build traffic to your website through Facebook ads. This is something that is very hot right now, and it's also quite inexpensive and can be very effective if you know how to do it well. So we'll spend a little bit of time going over to all of the capabilities of Facebook in helping you segment your market, as well as setting up an ad campaign in Facebook. You will also be building out a LinkedIn page for yourself. Many of you already have a LinkedIn page, and that's great, but I'm going to ask you to build it out and follow best practices. And those of you that don't have a LinkedIn account, you need one, and we're going to set one up in this class, so just know that that's going to be another requirement, and that's one of the first things we'll be doing in the class, honestly, so that'll come very soon. And finally, you're going to need to set up a Dropbox account. Again, Dropbox is free until you get to a point to where you've got too many files that are exceeding their maximum limits, but that is certainly not going to be anything that you will what am I trying to say? You're not going to go past that limit in this class. So Dropbox, I will be sharing a few things in Dropbox to give you access to some things to download. That's just the most efficient way to do it. And so I will ask that you set up a Dropbox account, and I'll be inviting you to join Dropbox and set things up. If you don't already have an account, I will make sure that you get everything you need to set that up. And again, that's free. Alrighty, on the next slide, I just wanted to go over a few things that are expectations in this class. Because this class is very much a learning as you go, most everything is going to be presented to you in class. I'm going to be doing lots of demonstrations. I'm going to be doing lots of other work in class that'll go beyond even the handouts and the notes that you may see. There will be a lot of detail provided that you aren't going to see or hear anywhere else. So please make sure that you can attend classes. If you for some reason have a job or another situation that is going to prevent you from attending class regularly, this is probably not the class for you. I just want to be real honest about that on the uptake here. Class does start at 8:10 on the dot, and I know that's a god-awful hour. I'm a night person myself. I really don't like you know what? I just realized this is an error. I am so sorry. This particular class starts at 11:10 this year. I've taught this class at 8:10 every year. So I have to 8:10 here, and I just realized, hallelujah, I still have to be here at 8:10 for another class, but it's not this one. In any case, please pretend this says 11:10. My apologies for that typo. And please do not be late for class. I know once in a while it may just be unavoidable, but please do not be one of those people that is notoriously always late. It's disruptive to the class, and it's disrespectful to me. So please, please, please come to class, be on time. A few other things that are just logistically really important to me is that you turn in all assignments during class on the due date. I'm not going to accept email assignments unless you have a good reason for needing to do it, and that needs to be prearranged earlier. The reason, guys, I'm going to be very, very honest with you here is just think about it. I can take a packet of papers with me when I go. Everything's there. I'm ready to go sit down, grade what I need to do. If I'm getting things in my email, I've got to go find those emails, print them out, make sure they get with the others, don't get lost, and then sit down and do it. It takes a lot of time and effort, to say nothing of extra paper costs, etc. on my part. So please just plan on turning in your assignments in class, send them them with someone if you can't be there that day, and it's got to be a pretty extraordinary situation where I will accept an email assignment. So please, please, please just plan on turning in your assignments in class when they're due. Also, just word to the wise here, take assignments seriously. I've seen a lot of students get behind thinking they're going to get caught up, and once you get behind, because of the pace that we move and because one thing builds upon another and because semesters tend to get more hectic as the semester goes on, it's going to be very, very difficult for you to get caught up and to finish the course successfully if you let yourself get behind. Of course, if there's an extraneous circumstance, you end up hospitalized or out extremely ill, keep in touch with me and I will work with you every way I can. But please, again, if you have any reasons for thinking that you're not going to be able to make it to class regularly, this just isn't the class for you. The class is just not the traditional textbook multiple choice test kind of class, and it's really, really easy to get behind if you don't take it seriously. So just, I want to again state that very much up front. I'm also in this class, again, trying to make you successful when you, I shouldn't say make you, but encourage you to be successful when you get out of school by being very, very proactive. And in online marketing, that's going to be essential for the reasons I've already talked about. You're going to find that in online marketing, things change all the time. If you don't already know that, you will very quickly. In any case, many times what you're going to have to do is do your own online sleuthing to find your answers to things. For that reason, when I go over things in class, I will take you so far. Beyond that, though, you may need to do a little bit of extra work in some cases to find the answers to things. For example, when we're doing WordPress, you may say, I want to use this theme instead of this one. How do I load it? How does it work? How do I find answers to, how do I make it do this or that? I don't know every theme. There's no way I could. You're going to have to go online and search for answers. So I just want you to know there is going to be a requirement for you to be proactive in this course. You should work in advance, as we've already talked about. Anticipate problems. Do not wait until the last minute. And the next bullet says be self-sufficient. So definitely review your notes, explore options, and then your first step should be to review Google to get answers. Please, please, please do not just call me and say, how do I do this? The first question I'm going to ask you is, what have you done so far? Where have you researched so far? I want you, again, to be very, very self-sufficient. So I'm not just going to give you the answers, even though sometimes it may be easy, just because you need to learn how to find this information on your own. I'm basically 100% self-taught. You can be too. And you've got the extra benefit of having a course to push you in the right direction and sort through a lot of the crud and just get to the good stuff that hopefully I'm going to be passing on to you. So please take advantage of that. But then take it a step further and do your due diligence and explore on your own as well. If for any reason you think these requirements and my expectations are unfair or unrealistic, given your personal circumstances, I am totally okay with you just dropping the course. I really get it. I know how many balls a lot of you are juggling. Some of you may be married or have children or are working 2 jobs. I've heard every scenario out there, and I completely respect how much a lot of you have on your plates. I also just know that this course is one that has to be taught this way that it's taught in order to be successful. And if it's not something you realistically can keep up with, I also completely understand that. So no hard feelings if I see your name fall off the course list. I just want you to know what you're getting into at the get-go and not feeling really misled 3 or 4 weeks into the class and then feeling like, geez, now I've got to drop. It's past the drop deadline. I'm not going to get my money back, or whatever the case may be. I'm going to move on here to the next slide, which is kind of on this same vein. Over here, if I can get my cursor back to go to the next slide. Whoops, I think I went 2 there. Nope, I guess I didn't. Sorry about that, guys. A very hands-on course we've already talked about. This is also a 400 level course, and there are high performance expectations. I will be sharing a lot more detail about certain things as we move along, but as students that are very close to graduating at this point, if you're in this class, you need to know how to write in a business format, for example. So I'm going to have high expectations in how you write your papers, how they're edited, how they're presented, and that type of thing. Your assignments, I'm going to expect that not only they contain the subject matter that's required, but that they're also written well. Your superiors, whoever those may be, once you graduate, are going to expect the same thing. And so I'm setting those expectations right now, and hopefully you understand that it's your best interests I have in heart to learn that while you're still in school rather than on your first job. So please, please, please just know that I'm going to expect a lot of you. You're getting ready to graduate and you should be performing at that level. Also just self-motivated and dedicated to doing well. Again, you've already heard me talk about this on the previous slide, so enough said. Just wanting, again, to reemphasize no exams. However, you will be building a website and a blog, and you will be graded on this project in 5 components. That is going to comprise 250 points, or 50 points apiece each component. There are going to be unannounced quizzes on blog readings and lecture materials for 100 points for that. There will also be hands-on projects that you will be graded on, 150 points for that. And then your client consulting project will be worth another 100 points, and that will comprise a total of 600 points possible in the course. The course is graded on the plus-minus system, as are all marketing courses in the business school. But again, just want you to know that that's the grading criteria, and so that everybody, again, is on the same page as far as that's concerned. And finally, just want to wrap this up by saying, hang on for the ride, guys. It really is a lot of fun. Again, I've had very good feedback on the course in previous years. Again, it's a lot of work. It is a lot of unusual type work compared to some classes you may be used to taking. But I think you will find it extremely beneficial because you're going to learn by doing, and you're going to be able to put a lot of the things that you've learned to practice. Maybe not everything, but you're going to at least have a lot of things in your toolkit, so to speak, when you leave the business school that you otherwise wouldn't have. And I know from talking to a lot of past students that have just written me out of the blue and just said, hey, didn't know how much I was learning in that class, but boy, has it come in handy. I think a lot of you are going to find the same thing holds true for yourselves. So with that, I want to just kind of wind down here and just tell you that I'm very much looking forward to meeting you in person next week. I thank you so much for dealing with these online presentations and having Jackie stand in my absence while I'm out. And I will be seeing you next week. But in the meantime, please do the following for me if you would. If you would please subscribe to the HubSpot blog that I gave you the link to earlier in this presentation, and please read the blogs that are posted on Fridays and Monday, or Friday and Monday. There is going to be a quick quiz next Tuesday, February 3rd. I want to be very upfront about that. Even though I said they were unannounced, I felt, especially being I'm going to be out and can't drop any subtle hints in class, it's only fair to tell you to expect one on Tuesday, February 3rd. Secondly, please subscribe to the osmm.net blog. There is a subscribe button or link or little field or something. I'm not seeing it in front of me at the moment, but it's at the top right of the right sidebar on the website. I am going to be regularly communicating with everyone in the class via this blog. So this blog will subscribe you to updates so that you will get the blog updates via email, and you will know when I'm communicating updates about the class. This is sometimes really helpful if we're in project and somebody writes a very good question and I want to share, gee, that would have been good to share with the class, so let me get that information to them via blog. So please do that as well. Pardon me, I'm kind of losing my voice here. I don't know what that's about, but if you can hang in with me for a few more minutes, we'll be done. Finally, I just want you to watch the videos that are posted to the slide deck and notes tab on the website. I'm going to be posting Thursday's lecture there as well. as what you will be getting here and viewing today. I may not be posting that lecture until later on Wednesday sometime, so you may not be able to access it ahead of that point, but I will definitely have something up there for you unless, gosh forbid, something terrible happens in surgery tomorrow. I'm very optimistic it's going to go just fine. It's an outpatient surgery, but they did tell me it was going to be about a week of recuperation time. So I think I'm pressing my luck to think I can defy the odds and get back to classes sooner than that. In any case, I look forward to seeing you all next Tuesday. Thank you again so much for listening to this presentation. I really appreciate it. And we will see you all then. Looking forward to the class and hope to see you all there. Bye-bye now.